What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Sports Fanatic Show. Your boy Dale, and today is the NFL. Today's the NFL. Is day 2 of the 31 days straight content challenge. And we got the big boy football today. Yesterday was Lane Kiffin. Today is the Rams. And how they choked against the Carolina Panthers. God damn, man. Let me tell y'all. For one, let me give y'all a little backstory first before we get into the game. So, something about me, really, I'm not a wholehearted team type of guy. I'm more of a players type of guy. It's hard for me to pick a team. Like, even if it's just hard for me to pick a team because I just love athletes. I'm an athlete type of guy, not a team type of guy. But my first ever time really watching a football game was the Detroit Lions and the New Orleans Saints. My grandmother was in the hospital. She survived that instance, but she did pass years later. But my grandmother was in the hospital. We went up there. It was a Sunday afternoon, like 2013. Oh, maybe like 2015. It was somewhere around that time. It was like the beginning parts of, early parts of Stafford's career. And boom, I see that on the TV in the hospital. I'm watching it, man. He had a hell of a game. Throwing up to Calvin Johnson. I think Calvin Johnson had like 120, something like that. Stafford had like 3 tutties. It was an amazing game. Fantastic game. And I was like, that's my favorite team. So from that point on till 2020 when Matthew Stafford was traded, that was my football team. Before I became that, I was a Packers fan only because of Aaron Rodgers. That was really the only game I would ever see on TV. So I was just like, I just like Aaron Rodgers. But I guess they was the hot team in town at that point. So I was by default. Then I think Madden 10, Madden 09 came out, and Brett Favre was on the cover. So I was like, I think I'm a Packers fan. But really, when I understood football, I became a Lions. And in 2020, when Stafford went to the Rams, I've stuck with the Rams. But I'm an adult now, so I probably would just ride out with the Rams for the rest of my life. And that's my Rams synopsis of how I became a fan. But this season has been phenomenal. We won a Super Bowl with Aaron Donald, OBJ, all the superstars won a Super Bowl. But this season right here, this is a complete team. We were 9-2 going into this Carolina game. Unfortunately, like I said, we lost. We choked 31-28. We are now 9-3. But this season has been phenomenal. Early off, we struggled in the red zone. To say a lot, we struggled in the red zone. We did not know what to do, how to do it in the red zone, and we would settle for a lot of field goals. I remember vividly the Philadelphia Eagles game where we had 4 or 5 trips in the second quarter with empty. I call them empty because if you're gonna have that many red zone appearances in one quarter and not come up with anything clean, no touchdown at all. You put up 3 points and we ultimately lost the game by 7 because we had so many opportunities to put in 7 and we did not, to a block kick. Yeah. So we struggled in the red zone. But I think, and then against the 49ers, Kyron Williams fumbled the ball in the red zone. And we end up losing in OT. That's a tough game. That was a good back and forth. Both of those games were back and forth. But I think when Puka got hurt, and we had no choice but to use Devontae in the red zone, it opened up. It's almost good as guaranteed, man. It's perfect. The fade ball, 10 yards and in at the goal line, it's automatic when Matthew Stafford and Devontae Adams. And Puka Nacua has been playing phenomenal. And not to mention, Stafford will be the MVP unless somebody just decides to step the hell up and play out of their God-given mind. But Stafford will be the MVP. Now let's get into today's game against the Carolina Panthers, where we lost 31-28. And the Panthers, and I want to start off with this. The Panthers are a very underrated team. This team is not bad. I can see how they lose games because they're so young. Bryce Young is a young quarterback. Hasn't played much competent NFL football since he's been in the NFL, hasn't had the right receiving pieces or offensive line pieces or the head coaching pieces or the defensive pieces to put it all together, but it's starting to click this year. It's starting to click this year. As you can see, they had that running back duo with Hubbard and Dowell. I'm looking at it right now. Hubbard, 17 rushes, 83 yards. Dowell, 18 rushes, 58 yards. Bryce Young, 15 of 20, 206, and 3 tutties. All of them were bombs. Bon voyage on our ass. That's what he did. Cooked that shit. Stafford, 3 turnovers. He had 2 interceptions. And basically the game-clinching fumble for Carolina in the red zone with like 2 minutes, like 2.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And it was on third down. And we was only down 3. So basically we could have won the overtime. Well, who knows what could have happened on that drive if Carolina, if they would have wanted to push the pace and try to get a field goal to put some points on the board to end out the game. Maybe we would have had enough time. Who knows? So many questions could have been answered, but he turned over the ball. And I seen in his press conference, post-game press conference, whatever you want to say, he was like, we're not going to win too many games when I turn the ball over 3 times. It hasn't been a problem all season, so it should not be one now. And I like that answer from Matthew Stafford. I really do. I really do. Because this, it happens. 18 games, every game is not going to be perfect. This is one game you're going to wish you had back. And we're going to need it because Chicago is now the number 1 team in the NFC after the Eagles have dropped some games, and that would have put us in prime position to be a game and a half. Yeah, a game and a half in the lead in the NFC. So we really needed that game if you really think about it, even though it was Carolina, but we needed that for, the divisional bye or the wild card bye and just to go into the divisional. So that game was pretty tough, but how it went down was just some freaky play, man. It was raining. It was raining the whole game. It was just a weird game. Stafford, one of the interceptions came off the helmet of somebody, and another one was just a bad play call. Even Sean McVay admitted it in this post-game conference. The fumble was Matthew Stafford's fault for sure. The defense, man. Excuse me, my mouth a little dry. But the defense got ran on. They got walked down, especially in that second half when our offense couldn't generate. We was on the field for 2-3 minutes in the third quarter, and they just ran the ball down our throat. Oh my God! I mean, Dowdle was just bouncing out. He was either up the middle or in the guts, in the gaps, out in the outside edges. Just good Lord, just bouncing off people every single time. It's a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 6. He's getting it. And not only is he getting it, he's carrying them 4 or 5 yards in front of them. They were just plowing through our defensive line every single time. It was guaranteed 6 yards. Every time. And I'm just sitting there like, God damn. Can somebody do something? And they couldn't. And they just ultimately couldn't. It was just a bad showing for my team today. It was a bad showing on all facets, on all 3 levels, 4 levels. It just was not good. And to go into another point, just because you lose a game like this and you have stats like Matthew Stafford did, does not mean he's no longer the MVP or he loses his spot as the number 1 contender for the most valuable player award once the regular season is over. No other quarterback has done what he's done this season. Excuse me. 28 straight passing touchdowns with no interceptions. He's broke Tom Brady's record. Now he's up to 4 interceptions on the season, 5 interceptions on the season. I would assume he would finish under 10. I would assume he would be at probably about 48 to 50 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, about 5,500 yards, something of that nature. But just because he has a bad game like this and people think Dak Prescott is cooking because of what he's done against the Eagles and the Chiefs, don't get me wrong, those are 2 big wins. But there are also 2 big wins against teams who's been inconsistent on the offensive side of the ball all season long. And if their offense isn't helping out, their defense ain't doing too much better. They're not that dominant where they're just holding people to 3, 7, 10 points, 13 points. No, they can't. So let's get that understood, everybody. The Chiefs and the Eagles are one of the two most inconsistent teams in the NFL. And the Cowboys did beat them. Yes, they did. But the Cowboys are also, 6-6-1 or something like that, 6-5-1 or whatever it is. So don't think Dak Prescott is the MVP. Justin Herbert just went down. Lamar Jackson missed 4 games with a hamstring problem. Nobody knows what Kyler Murray is. Aaron Rodgers is no. Joe Burrow was gone. Jane Daniels was cooked. Jalen Hurts looked like shit. Patrick Mahomes don't got a goddamn person to help his soul. Not even Andy Reid over there snacking on them In-N-Out cheeseburgers. What other quarterbacks can I think of? Daniel Jones and the Colts have fell off tremendously since starting off 6-0, 7-1, 7-1. Now they 8-4. Ever since acquiring Sauce Gardner, he might have tore his Achilles. So all the quarterbacks that Jackson Dart, Trevor Lawrence, whoever you want to throw, can nobody compete to the season that Matthew Stafford is having. So unless he just shits the bed for 6 more games or 5 more games, 5 more games, he's going to be the MVP of the season. So I just want people to understand that. I'm glad to see that he will get the MVP at the end of the season, as long as he doesn't shit the bed. Now Jordan Love, and he's been playing pretty solid too. But it was a tough game to lose, though. It was just a tough game to lose, and one thing that always seems to come up in these late game situations, in these close game situations, is Sean McVay's complexity of these play calls. We get in a close game, he started thinking he fucking John Madden. He started thinking he Wizards of Waverly Place with play calls, or he's Matt LaFleur, or he's Ben Johnson or something. He think he what's my boy Eric Bieniemy from when he played from Kansas City, when he was offensive coordinator in Kansas City. Now I think he at UCLA now or something like that. Sean McVay is a hell of a play caller. Ain't that what Floyd Mayweather say? He's a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. He's a top-notch fighter. Sean McVay is a hell of a play caller. He does a phenomenal job in, using Puka Nacua coming through the C gap and just diverting routes and concepts, and with Matthew Stafford in the receiving core, they can almost do anything. But sometimes he start doing everything. And he be bullshit. And it's like Sean McVay simplify the game, bro. Simplify the game. The run was working. We went down. We stopped them. We made them punt right around the 50. Maybe they were on 40 or something like that. They ended up punting. And we literally ran the ball down and scored within 3 minutes. No pressure. Then the next possession we get, we doing play action routes 40 yards down the field. They ran the ball down our throat. Why we can't do it back? That's just not making sense, McVay. And I need these games to be closed better from you. I don't think of course this game was kind of wonky, but all the losses I think have come down to you. To the play calling. So I think you have to be better. You guys figured out the red zone. You need to figure out your late game play calls. You need to come up with 20 to 30 automatic plays from the 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter and down. 30 to 40 to go-to plays, or maybe 15 go-to plays, or whatever it may be. Maybe 30, 40 asking too much. I can't lie. Maybe 30, 40 is asking a little too much. But you need to do some of that nature, because these late game situations will come up more and more once we get deeper into this regular season. And I know we got Arizona twice, but that's a division rival in the NFC West. We got them twice, and they're no pushover. Even though I still think we can sweep both of those. That little series right there. We play Detroit on the road. We play Seattle on the road, and who else we play? And we play Atlanta on the road. I might go to that to see my favorite quarterback. But Atlanta, Seattle, and Detroit, 3 tough road NFC games and a division rival on the road too, the 12th man, when we barely beat them at home after a piss poor performance on the offensive side of the ball. Sam Darnold threw 4 picks and we couldn't even put up 35 points. It's concerning. It's concerning. So, not really sure, what we going to do. We play Arizona next week. I think it's on the road, so hopefully we can get that dub. But, this game has been brewing, man. A game like this has been brewing. We just had, against the Lions, we had so many opportunities and we dropped the ball. We did good against Tampa Bay last week. I like that performance. But Seattle really pissed me off. San Francisco really pissed me off. Trying to think of another game. I think all the other games were good. Oh, Philly sent me through the fucking roof. And I wasn't a big critic against the Texans. It was the first game of the season, so but all of them losses in that Seattle win and that Baltimore win, that's 5 games this season. That's almost half the games this season I wasn't impressed with. So that's what I think. So hopefully we go against Arizona and we do them just how we did Tampa Bay, man. They've been injury riddled. I don't know who's on the team. I don't even know who's the starting quarterback anymore. I heard Brissett broke a record with 47 completions like 2 weeks ago. So I don't know what's up, but I heard he's also hurt now. So I don't really know what's going on with Arizona, but I think we should be able to take that one pretty easily. Get that job done, no matter if it's on the road or at home. We should get that job done pretty easily. And then we look on to Detroit, if I'm not mistaken. I think we look on to Detroit. Let's see. Let's go LA Rams schedule. LA Rams schedule. Yeah. So we got a short week. We go Cardinals, back at home against the Rams. And then we play Thursday night football at Seattle. So we go to Arizona, LA, Seattle, all within a week and a half. But, that's what it comes to when you get into professional sports. So, but that's all I got, man. That's all I got. The Rams kind of put me in a damper. I was in the car waiting to get some food watching that game. Matthew Stafford fumbled that ball. Damn near, I could have went to bed right after that. I could have went to bed. But it happens. We 9-3. The Bears are the number 1 team in the NFC, which is fucking ridiculous. And I might go to the Bears and Packers game, not the 14th, but the 20th. I might get a chance to go to that one. So we're going to see. But yeah, the Bears being the number 1 team in the NFC is crazy. I need to tap into more Bears games. So I'll be doing that this Sunday. But that's all I got, man. It's the Sport Fanatic, your boy Deal. I appreciate y'all. Day 2 is out the way. 28 more to go. I'll see y'all the rest. See y'all for day 3. Day 3 is, to give y'all a sneak peek, it is women's basketball. It's the SEC ACC preview. We're going to break that up into 2 parts. So you're going to get double uploads that day. You're going to get double uploads because for the rest of the week, I can go and tell y'all, if y'all really watching. And if you made it to day 2, you got a sneak peek for the rest of the week. How about that? We're gonna do it like that. So, we got boxing Thursday. Lamont Roach, Pitbull Cruz card. We got those predictions. Then Friday, yeah, that's Thursday. Because SEC and ACC challenges are 2-day, Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to come back here Friday. We're going to come back here Friday for the SEC and ACC women's basketball thoughts. And then Saturday, we're going to do a live stream to the Lamont Roach Pitbull Cruz card. Then that Sunday, we have the college football championship thoughts and selection show live stream. So that's going to be combined into one. And then we'll give you the recap of that Monday. We'll give you the Roach and Cruz card recap and afterthoughts and what everything means. And then the Tuesday, I got the Cardinals and the Rams breakdown. So, that's the rest of the week. It's going to be a jam-packed week, a lot to talk about. And then who knows, we're going to sprinkle some volleyball in there because the volleyball national championship is coming up pretty soon. So we'll throw a little volleyball in here pretty soon. But if you made it to day 2, you got a sneak peek for the rest of the week. I had some pizza and some garlic bread. I ain't going to tell y'all what time I'm recording this, but I had some pizza and some garlic bread. I ain't going to lie. It's going through your boy right now. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. The whole vibe. It's your boy, the Sport Fanatic, your boy, Deal. And I'm out. Day 2.